And we have to remember we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're seeing more than 800,000 new COVID cases a day. We have seen Europe go into a double-dip recession. We saw recently Western Australia go into a statewide lockdown. The pandemic is still with us. The virus is still with us. It's deadly, it's stubborn, and we need to remain vigilant. So we've extended some of those health measures, like the telehealth programs, like the support for GPs, like the procurement of vaccines. That's important, as well as the stimulus measures like the additional year of that low and middle income tax offset. That's really important to help create growth and to keep driving this recovery. We don't want to lose the gains, Pete, that we've already made. We've got to continue to lock them in.
Are you going to have to allow for more funding, though, for the tourism sector now that it doesn't really have any certainty, bearing in mind that the international borders will remain closed until the middle of next year?
Well, we've already provided substantial support for both the aviation and the tourism sector.
Yeah, but will you have to provide more?
Major airlines, we've done that. Well, again, the substantial support that we've provided is actually doing what it was expected to do, which is to drive jobs and to help the recovery. 800,000 half-price airfares have gone off like hotcakes, Pete, and people are travelling now more freely across the country. It's really important that when we have future outbreaks, and we will, because we can't eliminate this virus, but we can successfully suppress it, is that when we do have those outbreaks, that state premiers ensure a proportionate response, and if they do so, then we can continue to see people move freely between states, travel around our great country and create jobs in the process.
Migration, though, and just finally here, Treasurer, migration is at zero now until the middle of next year as well because of those borders being closed. Does this mean that you would be looking to explore quarantine facilities to be able to speed that up, to get some skilled migrants in, to get international students in as well?
Well, we say in the budget that we expect small numbers of international students to start coming in from the end of the year, but that there is an assumption that the international border will remain closed and then gradually open from mid-next year. Again, these are assumptions. These are not policy decisions. They do depend on the medical advice. The situation is very uncertain, but we will open the borders when it is safe to do so. And of course, it's not just the vaccine rollout, which is a factor, but it's also how the virus is changing internationally, because we've seen new variants of the virus and we've seen images from right across the world, the developing world and the developed world, about how it has continued to wreak havoc. Our first priority always will be here protecting Australians. We've done that from the start of this crisis by following the medical advice, and we'll do it to the end of this crisis.
OK. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg, as always, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you again soon.
My pleasure, Pete.